What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Jorge St. Pierre has shared his thoughts on how someone could potentially beat Islam Makhachev, and his breakdown has sparked a lot of discussion across the MMA world. With Islam widely viewed as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter by the end of 2025, many believe finding a blueprint to defeat him is one of the toughest challenges in the sport. Speaking during a recent appearance on a popular YouTube show, St. Pierre explained that on paper, Islam looks like the complete fighter. He described him as incredibly skilled, well-rounded, and extremely disciplined in every area of mixed martial arts. According to GSP, his personal pound-for-pound list includes Islam, Ilya, Merab, and Khamzat, all fighters who represent the highest level of competition in the sport today. However, St. Pierre made it clear that beating Islam does not automatically make someone the better fighter overall. He emphasized that fights do not always go to the most skilled athlete. Instead, small moments can completely change the outcome. He referenced Islam's past loss, explaining that if Islam were to fight the same opponent 10 times, he would likely win 9 of them. That one loss happened because he got clipped, and that is the unpredictable nature of fighting. GSP then went deeper into what it would actually take to defeat Islam. He explained that any potential opponent would need to be able to match him in wrestling, at least to a certain degree. That means either shutting down his takedowns or, if taken down, having the ability to scramble back to the feet quickly. Creating distance after those scrambles would be critical, rather than accepting bottom position. He also stressed that striking plays a major role. The fighter would need to be comfortable fighting Islam on the feet and willing to engage without fear. Pressure is another key element. According to St. Pierre, the opponent must constantly apply pressure, using feints, fakes, and movement to disrupt Islam's rhythm. By forcing Islam to think, react, and reset repeatedly, a fighter could potentially open small windows of opportunity. St. Pierre concluded that beating someone like Islam requires a rare combination of wrestling defense, striking confidence, cardio, and mental discipline. It is not about overpowering him, but about surviving the storm, staying composed, and capitalizing on the smallest mistakes. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Strickland does not appear bothered at all by the recent criticism coming from Rampage Jackson. The situation stems from a recent live stream where Strickland joined Rampage and made several controversial remarks, including the use of a racial slur while speaking openly on the broadcast. The moment quickly drew attention across the MMA community and sparked backlash online. After Strickland exited the live stream, Rampage shared his thoughts with viewers and did not hold back. He stated that he believed there was something seriously wrong with Strickland, suggesting that his behavior was abnormal and concerning. Rampage went on to speculate about Strickland's mental state, making comments that immediately stirred further controversy. Strickland, however, did not respond with anger or denial. Instead, he addressed the situation in his own signature style. He reposted the clip of Rampage's comments on his Instagram stories and added a caption that leaned heavily into dark humor and sarcasm. In the post, Strickland wrote that the diagnosis Rampage was looking for was ASPD, adding that it was the reason he does not leave his house, and joking that his brain does not work very well. The response reflected Strickland's unapologetic personality and his tendency to embrace criticism rather than shy away from it. Rather than escalating the situation, he appeared to mock the narrative surrounding him and leaned into the image that many critics already have. The exchange once again highlights how Strickland remains one of the most polarizing figures in MMA, unfazed by backlash and willing to respond on his own terms. Moving on to another news, Anthony Joshua showed a surprising level of respect toward Jake Paul following their fight, and it was a moment that caught many fans off guard. During the post-fight press conference, Joshua made it clear that while he was dominant in the ring, he genuinely respected Paul's decision to step into such a dangerous environment. He acknowledged that not many fighters are willing to face him, and Jake was one of the few who actually did. Joshua explained that fighting is not just a physical battle, but also a psychological one. He reminded everyone of what he had said before the fight, that there would come a moment where he would try to break Jake mentally, either forcing him to give up or knocking him out. According to Joshua, that instinct, the ability to survive mentally under pressure, is what separates good fighters from great ones. He admitted that he wished he could have finished the fight early, But as the rounds went on, it became clear that Jake had something many people doubted he possessed. Joshua praised Paul for his spirit and heart, pointing out that even after being knocked down multiple times, he kept getting back to his feet. He said that Jake tried his best and deserved credit for that effort. Joshua emphasized that plenty of fighters talk, but very few actually step into the ring with someone of his level. Jake did, and for that alone, he earned respect. He also made it clear that his respect was genuine and not forced. Joshua said that if the roles were reversed and Jake had beaten him, Paul would not have held back in celebrating or criticizing. Despite that, Joshua chose to take the high road and give credit where it was due. He stated that he was not going to sit there and tear Jake down because the performance showed courage and determination. At the same time, Joshua did not shy away from offering honest advice. He said that if Jake wants to remain at the top level of the heavyweight division, he will need to work much harder. Joshua described heavyweight boxing as one of the most difficult divisions to dominate, both physically and mentally. He finished by reinforcing his respect for Jake Paul, while making it clear that surviving at the elite level requires relentless effort, discipline, and a deeper understanding of what it truly means to be a fighter. Moving on to another news, Merab Dvalishvili has opened up about the much-anticipated trilogy with Petr Yan, and fans are eager to hear every detail. Ever since Merab's impressive 14-fight winning streak was snapped by Yan, speculation has been rampant about when these two stars will meet again. The Georgian powerhouse has made it clear that he wants to run it back as soon as possible, but it seems the timing won't align exactly with his plans. Merab has been vocal on social media, speaking in Russian to update his supporters. He revealed that if it were up to him, he would be ready to return in just 2 or 3 months. Originally, he had considered coming back in March, but now that timeline is no longer feasible. He added that it would be ideal if Petr Yan was ready for a fight in April or May, as he really does not want to wait until the summer months to settle the score. The Georgian star also shared that the upcoming bout will not take place at the White House card, but he stressed that this is not a problem for him. He reiterated that the UFC has acknowledged his efforts and promised that the next fight will be for the belt, essentially a rematch against Yan. Merab emphasized that he will give everything he has to secure the trilogy victory, underlining his relentless determination and focus. While the exact scheduling for the third fight remains uncertain, it's not entirely surprising that a March date is off the table, given that these two just faced each other recently. Merab's impatience to fight sooner rather than later is understandable, and it's clear he is eager to reclaim his momentum and title aspirations. Additionally, it wasn't guaranteed that the rematch would be booked for the White House card, considering the multitude of other high-profile names and legends vying for a spot. Despite these challenges, Merab remains determined and ready to fight as soon as the opportunity arises, keeping fans excited for the next chapter in this thrilling rivalry. Moving on to another news. Jake Paul was taken to the hospital after suffering a brutal loss, and the aftermath revealed just how serious the damage was. Following his TKO defeat to Anthony Joshua, Paul drove himself to the hospital, later confirming that he had suffered a double broken jaw. He shared a photo of his jaw x-ray online, making it clear that the fight took a heavy physical toll on him. Despite the injury, Jake kept his trademark confidence and humor. He posted an emotional message alongside the x-ray, jokingly asking if someone would take care of him forever and ever. The tone showed that even after a tough night, he was not feeling sorry for himself. Paul also addressed critics who claimed the fight was staged or that Joshua would take a dive. Laughing it off, he wrote that he was paid to lose, adding a sarcastic, "haha." Jake later confirmed that he plans to move back down to the cruiserweight division, focusing on recovery and his next chapter in boxing. Moving on to another news, Jorge Masvidal recently defended Kamaru Usman as a potential next opponent for Islam Makhachev, and his comments have sparked a lot of conversation in the MMA community. Despite some fans and pundits arguing that Usman should not be next, citing his recent record and age, Masvidal outlined why he believes Usman could still make Makhachev's reign a short one. Since Makhachev secured the welterweight title at UFC 322 in November by defeating JDM, many have questioned who could challenge him effectively. Masvidal, however, believes Usman remains a serious threat. Speaking on his Death Row MMA show, Masvidal explained that Usman's wrestling background is exactly what makes him a strong candidate to face Makhachev. He emphasized that wrestling is Usman's forte, and pairing it with his size, strength, and experience makes him formidable. Masvidal also pointed out that Usman is not just a wrestler. He is also dangerous on his feet. With greater reach and the ability to handle long fights standing up, Usman has proven he can combine striking and defensive wrestling to control fights, citing examples of his past performances against rat-face Kobe and others. Masvidal also weighed in on critics like Ian Gary, who have argued that Usman's ranking and declining abilities make him unworthy of the next title shot. Masvidal responded strongly, calling the idea that Usman is irrelevant so crazy. He reminded fans that Gary himself is not the top welterweight and has already been tested, pointing out that Usman's skill set still makes him capable of handling elite fighters despite being nearly 40 years old. Masvidal, who lost to Usman twice and was knocked out in their 2021 rematch, also highlighted Usman's physical advantages. He noted that Gary, while massive for welterweight, has already been rocked by Shopkot, making Masvidal confident that Usman could still dominate fighters like Gary. He emphasized that dismissing Usman as a has-been ignores the reality of his capabilities, and he believes that Usman's wrestling, striking, and experience make him a legitimate contender for Makhachev. Overall, Masvidal's perspective shows strong support for Usman, highlighting both his skill set and proven record. He sees Usman as a fighter who, despite age and recent results, can still challenge and potentially defeat the reigning champion, making a matchup against Makhachev an exciting and realistic option for the next title fight. Moving on to another news, Anderson Silva delivered an impressive performance at Friday's Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua event in Miami, and it did not take long for him to make his presence felt. Silva stepped into the ring against fellow former UFC champion Tyron Woodley and immediately showed his experience and composure. From the opening moments, Silva calmly sized Woodley up in the corner, reading his movement and timing before exploding with a sharp and precise combination. The punches caught Woodley clean and sent him stumbling forward, nearly crashing face first into the canvas. Woodley dropped to his knees and managed to beat the count, but he was clearly shaken and struggling to recover. His legs looked unsteady, his reactions were slow, and the damage was obvious. After a brief assessment, referee Samuel Burgos waved the fight off once Woodley's corner made it clear he could not safely continue. It was a decisive and controlled finish that highlighted Silva's striking accuracy and veteran instincts. Following the fight, Silva shifted the conversation toward Jake Paul during the post-fight press conference. Rather than criticizing him, Silva chose to give Paul genuine praise for his performance against Anthony Joshua. He stated that people need to start giving Jake the respect he deserves, emphasizing how much improvement he has shown over time. Silva explained that Jake has clearly been putting in the work and continues to grow as a fighter. While acknowledging that the biggest responsibility in that fight fell on Joshua, Silva made it clear that Jake should not be dismissed or mocked. According to Silva, Jake has improved a lot and deserves recognition for stepping into tough fights and continuing to test himself. He added that with more time, more experience, and continued training, Jake could show even more progress. Silva stressed that his comments were not influenced by business or promotion, but by what he sees inside the ring. He repeated that people need to respect Jake Paul for his dedication, his courage, and the noticeable evolution in his boxing skills. Moving on to another news, Islam Makhachev could be facing Michael Morales next, and this potential matchup is already shaking up the welterweight landscape. John Anik recently shared some insight that surprised many fans, revealing that Morales is currently the front-runner to challenge Makhachev. This comes as a shock to those who were expecting names like Kamaru Usman, Carlos Pratis, or Ian Gary to get the nod for the next title fight. According to Anik, the UFC views Morales as a particularly dangerous threat to Makhachev, largely due to his well-rounded skill set and undefeated record. Morales has been impressive in his recent outings, scoring back-to-back wins against elite grapplers like Gilbert Burns and Sean Brady. This track record highlights his ability to handle takedown-heavy fighters, which positions him as a strong anti-grappler in the eyes of the UFC. Unlike some fighters who have struggled against Makhachev in the past, such as JDM, Morales has the striking, size, and explosiveness to punish anyone attempting to take him down. His career so far shows that he has never really been in serious trouble, making this matchup far more intriguing and unpredictable than many fans expected. Timing is also a significant factor. Makhachev, being devout in his Muslim faith, prefers to fight before Ramadan, which begins around February 17th. This suggests that the title defense will likely be scheduled for early 2026, potentially in February. For fighters like Ian Gary, this development is less than ideal, as Morales' rise could interfere with other contenders' paths to a title shot. Carlos Pratis, meanwhile, has continued to focus on building his own record, further clearing the way for Morales. Anik also explained that Dana White recognized Morales as an eliminator during fight week, and Morales delivered by winning convincingly against Brady. This performance solidified his position as the next in line, showing that the UFC values his consistency, skill set, and readiness to challenge Makhachev. Overall, the Ecuadorian Morales now holds the inside track for the next title shot, bringing a unique combination of striking, grappling defense, size, and explosive power that makes him a compelling opponent for Makhachev. Fans are now eagerly anticipating this matchup, which promises to be one of the most interesting welterweight clashes of early 2026.